Now that the state Senate unveiled its tax plan and passed it along to the House of Delegates, Governor Justice says it's time for negotiations and compromise to come up with the best proposal for West Virginians.
But as Eyewitness News reporter Kenny Bass tells us, that may be a tough sell to Republicans in the upper chamber.
Senate President Craig Blair says the proposal his colleagues unanimously approved will cut taxes in West Virginia by $600 million through a number of different ways, including a 15% reduction in the state income tax. Eyewitness News sat down with Blair before the Senate's bill was unveiled. The Senate president weighed in on Governor Jim Justice's tax ideas and the governor's series of town meetings all across the state supporting them. It sounds like it does not bode well for the governor's proposal in the Senate.
You mean the governor's proposal to run for the U.S. Senate? Is that what you said?
Actually, I was referring to the cut in the personal income tax.
I was referring to the same.
The Senate's personal income tax revision falls short of Governor Jim Justice's desire to slice the tax in half over 3 years.
Here's what we're not going to do. We are not going to buy in future legislatures or governors and spend money that we don't have. We're not going to do what the House of Delegates has done. And that is, they launched a bill at us on day 3, 4, something like that. They're passing bills over there right now that will make it so that it's unaffordable by passing things out that cost money, that base build. Not happening here.
Blair says contrary to the governor's claims, the Senate was largely ignored as Justice and House Speaker Roger Hanshaw worked on a tax cut bill.
If you haven't noticed, we've been basically getting bullied in the Senate. Why hasn't this been done? Why hasn't this been done already? And anytime that you rush into a rash decision, especially when things like this, you can end up having negative repercussions long term. That's happened many times in this state's history.
The bitter fight over Amendment 2 between Justice Blair and Senate Finance Chair Eric Tarr continues to cloud any tax cut talks. Justice waged an all-out assault on the proposal, and voters sided with him last November, rejecting the effort to change the Constitution and allow for business and inventory tax reductions. The Senate's new bill resurrects parts of Amendment 2 with rebates for business and inventory and personal vehicle taxes. The justice says he remains hopeful a deal is out there.
Now we sit down to do our real business, and we negotiate back and forth, and we come to something that really is just terrific for our people. This is really good news.
In Charleston, Kenny Bass, Eyewitness News.
Kenny, thank you. And the House has already approved the governor's tax cut proposal, but the House Finance Chair Vernon Criss says delegates will take a look at the Senate's bill for possible areas of common ground and for places where there is room for negotiation.
And now Governor Jim Justice announces a roundtable to discuss about the issue of tax reform. The roundtable is open to the public to watch and will be held in the West Virginia Culture Center Theater on Monday, February 13th at noon.